Clark, assess the center position right now in the NBA. And I'm talking about elite centers and their place in the game.
Well, the center position has changed, Kevin. You don't have a lot of back-to-the-basket centers anymore. More of the big guys are stepping out and are more like stretch fours than traditional big guys. What you have in the center position now typically are rebounders and rim protectors. Not many dominant scorers on the low block.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So on the floor for Minnesota, Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. Gibson is the 4 with Towns in the middle. And it's Wiggins in at the 3. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Redick.
Man, you love the effort. Just getting the hand in there and knocking it out.
Really came close to the pilfer, but they'll take that effort. Mucking things up is sometimes just as good as a steal.
Here's Towns. In the corner, it's Wiggins. Towns, a screen on Simmons. And that one's good. Wiggins.
You see Towns setting the monster pick. I mean, as he's filled out, he's become a real hard guy to get around when he screens.
Now here's Fultz. Here's Simmons. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And he'll take that. The nice, easy mid-range jumper. First bucket of the day.
The defense just gave him that one, and you talk about starting on a high note. Didn't seem to respect his mid-range J there.
Now here's Butler. Outside Gibson. Lock at 6. Knocked away. Towns kicks to T. Timberwolves working now with the new shot clock. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
Taj Gibson is a solid role player. Really one of the best we have. A good rebounder and defender with a soft touch from the mid-range and can score without having plays called for him.
He's off on the first. And the second free throw, good.
I love the complementary aspect of this group now. You know, you've got the young talent, but you've brought in some veteran leadership here for the Timberwolves. The duo of Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns kind of gave the confidence to them to go out and acquire a superstar in his prime like Jimmy Butler.
Now here's Embiid. Embiid the screen. Here's Simmons. Minnesota with the rebound. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Here's Teague. Outside Gibson. Back to Teague. 11 feet away. That one off the back iron and out. And Greg, the core of this Timberwolves team is Wiggins and Towns. And, you know, rarely do you get to see 2 #1 overall picks team up early in their careers.
And how about back-to-back years? No less. But I consider Jimmy Butler kind of a foundational piece as well. He's in the conversation for the best shooting guard in our league.
And that one's good by Butler.
Well, I tell you what, he's not going to give in to the defense. Butler really is ferocious. Great job finishing off these tough shots.
For Minnesota, they've gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. In the corner, Gibson with it. Butler dishes to T. Towns the screen. Wiggins against Embiid. They grabbed their own miss. Here's Towns. Simmons with the defensive effort.
That's smothering defense. Chicken and gravy defense, not giving him an inch there. That's how you guard the inside. Yes, sir.
The Timberwolves trail. Gibson the screen. T kicks to Butler. Misses off the right iron.
Well executed. Great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Agree with you there, partner, because that screen really freed him up nicely, and that's a shot that if you're a pro, you need to make that one.
Now here's Simmons. Jimmy Butler unable to get his last shot to go.
And really with Simmons, the guy just has everything, including that soft mid-range jumper.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Now here's Wiggins. The feed to Butler. That one doesn't go. And the 76ers go the other way with it. Butler against Redick to the left side wing. Now Fultz. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. 3 on the clock. And here's Simmons for 3. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Here's Wiggins. Here's Butler. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And guys, I think Jimmy Butler has all the tools you could want in a two-way player. He's an excellent defender, and he also can score the ball from just about anywhere.
The Timberwolves shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. First one falls for him.
And, you know, the Sixers were heavily criticized for the so-called process, enduring the pain of losing big. People forget the prior decade when the team tried to contend, only won a single playoff series.
And so Butler nails both of them. And Clark, it's true the Sixers were a team long stuck in the middle. Does that help explain why they employed such drastic measures to rebuild?
I think so, Kevin. Clearly, they tried getting there the usual way when you try to develop players and maybe add a key free agent here or there, and it didn't quite work. And the process was Plan B. And that process has really started to pay some dividends, so I don't blame them for trying it.
Now here's Teague after the miss from Joel Embiid. Towns, no luck. Simmons with it. He has 6. To the left wing. Embiid the screen. Charge outside. Simmons against Wiggins. Unloads from 13. And he overshot that one, missing. Minnesota's gone 0-4 from three-point land to start out. Looking cold from outside. Teague can't hit.
Can't get more open than that. No idea how he mistimed that mid-range shot. Maybe he was too open.
And Simmons kicks to Fultz. Dish now to Redick. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. Here's Fultz. And the layup's good off the glass.
Man, I love the energy Fultz plays with, Kevin. I mean, when he's deep in the paint, he's really comfortable going up to shoot it.
There's the pick. T kicks to Gibson. And the pass to Butler. Count it. His second make in 4 attempts.
I don't think there's any defense for that, Kevin. I mean, this guy is a pro's pro at getting his shot up even when challenged by the defense.
Now here's Simmons. Good work there as it goes. Simmons got 8. And so it's Minnesota with it. It's a 3-point game. T kicks to Towns. After 2 misses to start the game, he's on the board with that shot made.
You know, for a guy with Towns' size, I mean, to have this level of body control, it's no wonder the contact didn't bother the shot.
In a wide open look for Simmons. Simmons missing again. Timberwolves shooting well off their usual numbers, around 29% so far.
Nice pass that time. What excellent vision. by Jeff Teague out there.
Embiid with a screen on Teague. Screen by Sharch. And Redick kicks to Simmons. Simmons missing again. And Minnesota has possession. Guys, this offense very effective.
And guys, the defense has been no match. They've just picked them apart.
Boy, I tell you what, that 7-foot condor-like wingspan of Wiggins helps him get to the miss and convert it into points.
Embiid the screen. Sharch gets it to go from beyond the arc. Sharch has got the game tied up here for the 76ers. Minnesota's gone 0-4 from three-point land to start out. Looking cold from outside. T kicks to Butler. Passes to Towns. Gibson the screen. And Joel Embiid pulls it down. Embiid's got his third rebound on the night.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Now here's Sharch. He has 5. Redick for 3. Another 3 for Philadelphia.
Yeah, there's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes now in the D.
Here's Gibson. Got a piece of it. And here's Fultz. Dishes it to Sharch. Fultz the pass to Simmons. Embiid with the screen on Wiggins. 6 on the shot clock. The shot by Redick, no good.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Well, Towns does so many things on the floor. Already an elite post scorer. But, Greg, one area that he has struggled with at times is his defense against other bigs.
And I think he'll continue to improve in that area. What happens with young guys, though, is oftentimes you're improved how good I am mode when you're young, and you lose sight of some of the things that help you win games. And I think that's one reason why he had one of the worst defensive RPMs in the entire league. But young bigs tend to take a bit longer to develop into great defenders, and I expect he will follow in that line. Yeah, you can sense he wasn't happy with how things are going here. Probably looking to change it up a bit.
Nothing wrong with that. You got to be flexible. When something isn't working, you adjust, you modify, you go to something else. That's what the best coaches do.
And the 76ers with a completely new group now. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. Zhang comes in for Taj Gibson. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Andrew Wiggins. And Jones subbed in for T. And Aldrich sends it back.
Well, we know this about Aldrich, Kevin. I mean, a plus shot blocker. Shows good instincts and gives maximum effort.
Philadelphia's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from three-point range so far in the first. Johnson the screen. Here's McConnell. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. Johnson's got his first basket of the night.
You know, you look at Johnson, he's in that upper echelon when you talk about offensive rebounders, so you've got to account for him.
Jones kicks to Butler. Shoots over Covington. Jimmy Butler once again. Butler's got 10.
Yeah, and he's connecting on a lot of his shots here, shooting a high percentage from the field, really giving his team a boost.
Pass to Johnson. Butler against Covington. Johnson the screen. Here's Luwawu. Offline with his 3. Timberwolves trail. And 1:01 left to play in the first. Crawford dishes to Zhang. Outside, Jones. Butler attacking. Zhang. Not going to go that time. And the 76ers go the other way with it. Here's Luwawu. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Johnson the screen. The shot by McConnell, no good. They have not led for a while, a chance to do so here.
Well, they'd like to retake the lead on this possession.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Now here's Jones. There's the screen. Outside Butler. Drains the three-pointer. 13 points in the game.
And Butler knows he's got the green light to shoot whenever he wants to, especially when it's a catch-and-shoot situation.
Jimmy Butler has been on display for Minnesota. He put together quite a quarter, 13 points in all. And he looks to be planning for more. And we'll be right back after this. And J.J. Redick, a focal point in his tenure with the Duke Blue Devils, both offensively and as a lightning rod for fans.
I think I'll forever be associated with Duke and Duke basketball. And obviously that's a polarizing topic for some people. They like me, some people don't like me. But I take a lot of pride in the fact that I went to school there, I got to play there, and
There's no doubt that he is Mr. Duke, J.J. Redick, and it's hard to argue with that school's incredible success, Greg, whether you like him or not. And I know you've had a first-hand view of Duke a couple times.
And listen, I have the utmost respect for J.J. and Coach K and what they've done there. And then listen, you could be known for a lot worse things in your life and having gone to a lot worse places. But I think for him, it's not about where he's been, Kev. I think it's about where he's going and what's going to be the next chapter in his career.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And let's quickly break down the game we're watching with the Timberwolves, guys.
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
Yeah, outworking them right now, plain and simple. I mean, they've been terrific in the open floor.
We've got Robert Covington. Amir Johnson is out there with Holmes. And it's T.J. McConnell. And it's Luwawu in at the shooting guard position. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. Here's Butler. 6 for 10 with that shot going in. That's a good game for a lot of guys.
Watch out now when Butler gets rolling. He's super dangerous when he gets the hot hand.
Pass to Luwawu. Kicks to Covington. Butler with the steal. And they're pushing it up. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
I tell you what, Butler is a physical dunker. I mean, he takes his craft seriously. I just love watching this guy take off.
That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Under Armour. Another unleash chaos moment.
And always a bit of risk on those long passes. Lucky the D couldn't come up with it there.
A minute and a half gone here in the second quarter. McConnell in the corner. Puts up a three. Drills the three-pointer. McConnell's got his first 3 points of the game.
You know, leaving somebody that wide open is not prudent. I mean, you got to expect to get burned when you put that kind of effort forward.
Jang, a screen. Crawford outside. And Jang kicks to Jones. Just 5 to shoot. Over McConnell. Here's Aldridge, and he makes the bucket through contact and gets the whistle, too.
And, you know, Aldridge is getting to the point in his career where he's developed a number of moves inside, and good play call there for him.
The Timberwolves shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
And as a team, excellent a season ago, about 80% when they got to the line.
Nick Stauskas is checked in for Philadelphia. Clark, as an analyst, do you feel you view the game drastically different from when you were in your playing days in college and the NBA?
Yeah, you know what, Kevin, I really do, because I've benefited from the different coaches we've had a chance to visit with over the years, and that's added to my perspective. And you tend to look at things differently when you're playing. I was always a student of the game, but clearly I think I've become a lot more analytical as an analyst, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
You know, Kevin, this team is struggling a bit right now. I mean, I hope he can find his rhythm and start making his shots out there soon. Otherwise, ... Guys, he has been a major factor, big time, outstanding at getting quality looks and knocking them down.
The pass to Holmes. He kicks it to Covington. Holmes, that's a screen. That's a floater go. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two.
Man, you got to love the intensity of Covington. I mean, he's a consistent shooter from beyond the arc, and he's a player that also isn't afraid to get dirty on the glass for rebounds. That's a nice combination, nice stroke, but still he'll do some dirty work too.
Two shots.
Free throw drops for Covington.
And, you know, through the long rebuild in Philly, the Sixers' strategy was to develop unproven players and try to find some diamonds in the rough. Not a bad way to go when you're going to be patient. And Robert Covington might have been their best find. A very good defender at both forward spots.
Second free throw, no good. And Covington offensively, mostly a catch-and-shoot score.
Yeah, he plays well off others. His three-point percentage has kind of went south the last few seasons, but if he works on that, I think he's got a place with this team, or if not this team, then certainly in the league.
And they double up Butler. Shoots over Covington. Butler, no good. The 76ers trail by 5. Shoots from the high post, and the jumper falls for him.
And, you know, Covington really excels with the mid-range jump shot. Just looks like he's really comfortable rising up from there.
Jones kicks to Crawford. He dishes it to Butler. For the three. That's good from Crawford on the assist by Butler. Crawford's got the lead up to 6 now for Minnesota.
And I like the decisions Butler makes with the ball. He's a solid passer and really has a nice feel for how to get his teammates open and clean looks.
Johnson sends the screen for Covington. Butler with the steal. And now Minnesota on the fast break. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
Holmes has a screen. Stauskas again, Philadelphia.
You know, this team looks to Nick Stauskas to nail these mid-range jumpers. I mean, he knows his role on this team very well, and that's to put the ball in the basket.
Shoots from the block. Here's Jang. It's tipped. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket. Jang's got his first basket. The 76ers trail by 6. Feeds it to Stauskas. Johnson up top. Back to Stauskas. Crawford with the steal. On, here we go. Crawford all alone. Count the basket. Crawford's got 5. And look at how the hustle game has been going for Minnesota.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Well, they're working the glass, really battling in that area of the game, and that's helped them stake this lead.
He hit 1 3 in the first, but the well has been totally dry for him in the second.
Stauskas, the pass to Covington. Holmes has a screen. Covington kicks to Holmes. 6 to shoot. The 76ers need to get off a shot. Makes a big high bouncing goes in.
And now you can see the D having problems stopping the mid-range jumper, just not really closing out as much as they need to.
Timeout called, first of the game for Minnesota. You know, Clark, at the end of last season, the Timberwolves unveiled this new logo they're sporting this season. They thought it was time for an update, and you have to say it looks pretty sharp.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, most teams in the NBA want to mix their logo up every so often to keep it modern and up to date and fresh. The Wolves have a young group and felt it was the right time to re-examine the logo, and I can't argue with them. Sometimes a little change like that can pay big dividends.
Philadelphia will go for a different look here. Embiid, he's checked in for Johnson. Sharch comes in for Rashawn Holmes. Anderson, he's checked in for Robert Covington. And it's Fulton for T.J. McConnell. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Towns, he's checked in for Aldridge. Gibson comes in for Gorgie Dang. Wiggins is checked in for Butler. And it's Teagan for Tyus Jones. The 76ers trail by 9. Fultz kicks to Sharch. He feeds it to Fultz. Sharch with the screen for Fultz. Bulls from the top of the key. The rebound by Gibson.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamour stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team. Boy, they ran the offense well to get this look. Even though he missed it, I think they liked the shot.
Fultz with the ball. Picked up by Teague. Stauskas dishes to Fultz. The feed to Sharch. Embiid the screen. Anderson wide open. Goes back up. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. Jamal Crawford picks one up.
You know, you got to love watching Embiid play the game because he has such great passion and really a drive to be great.
And Joel Embiid, from the time he started playing basketball in Cameroon through the University of Kansas, Clark, he began patterning his game after Hakeem Olajuwon.
Well, it sounds like he's a visual learner because he got a DVD of Hakeem and said he watched it almost daily. Their stories are similar. Both started playing hoops relatively late. Both are from Africa. And you watch the gracefulness of Embiid's moves inside. Easy to see the influence of Olajuwon.
The first free throw is good, and a lot of scorers in the NBA just demand so much attention when they have the ball. Which players you think, Clark, in your eyes, gets the most attention from a defense?
Well, I mean, how about the MVP of last season, Russell Westbrook? I mean, you can't take your eyes off of him when you're watching the game and certainly when you're playing against him. And you've got to know where Steph Curry is at all times, whether he has the ball or not. He's that dangerous. And James Harden is one of those guys who's a magnet for attention as well. And you always can throw LeBron James in any conversation about most watched players or most focused on players.
And Redick kicks to Embiid. Anderson the screen. And stolen by Jeff Teague. In the corner, it's Crawford. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Crawford's got 11 points in the quarter.
Yeah, you know, not every point guard would be able to find an open man right there, but Teague is always looking for the right play.
Redick passes to Fultz. The dish to Sharch. Embiid with the screen on Teague. Jumper off the screen, and the shot no good, a bit short.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
Now here's Fultz. Teague covering. Fultz dishes to Redick. Embiid the screen. And Redick kicks to Embiid.
know, the motto in Philadelphia over recent years, in the midst of one of the most patient rebuilding efforts in NBA history, was trust the process. I love that. Hard to do, but certainly worth pursuing. And Joel Embiid has made it his nickname. Joel, the process, Embiid.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The free throw drops for Embiid.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
Yeah, I don't think it's an accident that aggressiveness correlates with playing better. So the aggressiveness is starting to pay off.
And Embiid drops them both. Minnesota leading by 11. T kicks to Towns. Passes it to Wiggins. Back to Towns. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws
shots,
for the
gentlemen.
contact right there. And Clark fans know they can chant trust the process as Embiid is at the line. Do you like that nickname?
Well, it's more a bumper sticker than a nickname, and I like it, though. I like trusting the process. As a nickname, I'd give it thumbs down, but clearly Embiid has given these Sixers fans a lot of hope for the present and future.
And the first one at the line is good.
And you know what's impressive about Towns to me, guys, at this young age? The preparation he puts into each and every game. He's a true pro in that regard.
And Towns drops them both.
You know, you watch Karl Anthony Towns, and he just epitomizes the future of the NBA big man. Extremely versatile, gets it done inside and outside at both ends of the floor, and has a fluidity to his game that belies his size.
And Philadelphia calls time here. And with Towns and him being the future of the NBA big men, the numbers he's put up at a young age are staggering. Clark just looks like a guard out there sometimes.
Well, there's a good reason for that, Kevin. You know, Towns actually played guard before a big growth spurt. I think that clearly helped with his skills, and that's why he's so comfortable creating. It's a perfect situation for a guy like him to revolutionize what a low block player can do.
And so here is Philadelphia, trailing by 13. Redick with it, and Crawford picks him up defensively. Screen by Saric, and Redick kicks to Anderson. Back to Redick. 5 on the clock. Over Crawford. Redick with the bucket. Redick's got 5 points so far.
Even with the man all in his jersey, Redick has the skill and concentration to make you pay on those jump shots. It's real simple for him.
Out left to the wing. Wiggins up top. Outside T. And stolen by Redick. Anderson outside. Off target from three-point range.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
To the paint. Here's Towns. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. Clark, when you look back at your terrific career, who is the one player that you considered your toughest opponent to go up against?
There were a couple of guys. Bernard King from the New York Knicks, because we saw them a handful of times a year, and he was just such a phenomenal scorer. and a relentless worker offensively. He just never gave you a break. I didn't get to see the West Coast teams but twice a year. The Denver Nuggets in the early 80s had Kiki Vandeweghe, Alex English, and Dan Issel. And between those three guys, they were averaging about 80, 81 points a game. And I usually dealt with English or Vandeweghe. And those were long nights because those guys moved the ball, shot it from everywhere, and were excellent offensive players.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Simmons is checked in. And Towns drops them both.
And a great job from the line this quarter. They've gotten their percentage way up there.
Embiid the screen. Outside, Redick. Simmons against Wiggins. Goes up at the stripe. Hits the front of the rim and out. Crawford kicks to Wiggins. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. That's on Ben Simmons.
Using those long gazelle-like strides, Wiggins beats everybody to the punch. They have to foul him to stop him.
Two shots.
The first one falls.
And still varying opinions out there of what Andrew Wiggins can and can't do. But one thing that's indisputable, he's an incredible scorer. Whether it half-court transition, he can flat out fill it up in a hurry.
He hits one and misses one, each at the line. And Wiggins, his young career just getting better and better at scoring, Greg, while increasing his workload.
Yeah, and very few scorers can do that, especially from that two-guard spot. Wiggins has that special talent where he can flat out carry an offense. Scary to think that this is a kid who is just scratching the surface.
Saric passes to Redick. At the top of the key, Embiid. Shot clock at 6. Misses off the left iron.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it, gritty and rough, but that's how you win games.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him, but luckily his teammates have picked up the slack.
And that one's good, Simmons.
Hey, really, you don't have many more options when Simmons is that close to the cup. I mean, this guy's just too smart.
It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. The kick out to T. Offensive rebound, Towns. The Timberwolves again can't hit. And the wide open shot from Redick. And with that one, the lead is trimmed to single digits.
Excellent confidence from Redick. Really good. I mean, taking his time, his form, textbook.
And so it's Minnesota ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. A terrific tempo and a great pace. The fast break has been a central part of their offense. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy, you have come a long way in this league. When you look at your career now versus when you came in, how different is it?
Much different. I think on the floor, I'm supposed to do a lot more on both ends of the floor. And off the floor, I think it's still the same. People recognize my hair.
Well, it is a unique style, Jimmy. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here. Got Shaq, got Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you back to the halftime show on 2K Sports. Big time play throughout the first half for Jimmy Butler. He ended up with 19 points, 2 steals, and 2 rebounds. And Shaq, what do you think about what we saw from Minnesota?
Well, they've been playing with some toughness.
And it's led to a nice lead for them, not just on the scoreboard, but in the rebounding numbers. And now they need to stay mean, Ernie. You cannot lose that edge in the second half.
And Kenny, what are your thoughts on Philadelphia?
Well, they shot under 40% in the first half. There's your deficit. They missed some open looks, wide open. But overall, I thought the offense was stagnant. Look for their coach to draw up some specific plays to try to jumpstart them in the second half.
And that will...
The skyline of Philadelphia looking especially majestic tonight as we welcome you back to action. All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. We are seeing a tremendous game from Jimmy Butler.
And through the first two periods, it seemed he got to the paint whenever he wanted to, just a slasher's mentality.
Yeah, you know, good things happen when he cuts to the rim, Greg, and you cut into the heart of the defense like that, makes things easy.
The second half just about to get going here. The 76ers trail by 9. Here's who Tom Thibodeau is starting the second half with. Wiggins at small forward with Gibson at the 4. Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. And it's Towns in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's Redick. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Redick's got the first points to start out the third quarter for Philadelphia. Now Teague. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Here's Towns. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Simmons got his 6th rebound on the night. Dishes it to Fultz. Embiid with a screen on Teague. Fultz kicks to Redick. Embiid sets the pick for Redick. Shot off the pick. And Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down. Towns has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Teague left side. Here's the 3. Drains the three-pointer. Teague's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
And over time, Teague has really gotten more and more comfortable shooting his three-point shot, and that's impressive considering what a weapon it can be for him.
And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. And for the Sixers, a lot of missed rookie seasons over the years. First Nerlens Noel, then Joel Embiid, now Ben Simmons.
Yeah, but in many cases, I think they drafted them knowing they might be out of commission for a while. Still, I think the Philly fans probably hope not to hear the phrase foot fracture for a long time. Hopefully, they can keep everybody healthy and get this thing moving forward. The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Embiid the screen. Fultz kicks to Šarić. Pass to Simmons. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. And Ben Simmons putting on over 30 pounds of muscle going into his rookie season. Do you think there was any connection between that extra weight and the broken bone he suffered in his foot?
I could certainly understand why people might speculate that, but I'm not going to go there. Clearly, strength is more important than additional weight, and those kinds of injuries do tend to show up because of overuse, though, Kevin.
That's good from Simmons.
And the Australian Simmons is a star in the making thanks to his extremely versatile and high-level skill set and big frame.
He's off on the second.
And you know, Ben Simmons, a one-and-done player at LSU. He grew up in Australia. Didn't really watch much college basketball. Said he would have preferred to go straight from high school to the pros.
Kicks it out to Wiggins. Over Simmons. They get it back.
They're in a hurry. I think, Kevin, they're rushing things a little bit to begin the half. Nothing pretty about this 1-for-4 start.
And Simmons slams it in.
Simmons is an absolute thoroughbred as a scorer. A dominant offensive talent who scores in a lot of different ways.
And Simmons, ineligible for the Wooden Award at LSU for academic reasons. He made it clear, I am here for basketball.
Well, and I don't like that mindset there. It's clearly accurate, but while you're in school, you should make that part of the equation and be serious about it. Doing just enough to get by, not the way to approach it. Clearly a tremendous talent between the lines, though. No denying that.
And guys, there are some you can give that shot to, but let's be clear, he's not one of them.
Timberwolves making a change here. Jones is checked in. Outside Teague. Towns the screen. Teague kicks to Towns. Wiggins outside. Misses the three.
Talk about hurting your team. I mean, he just can't get anything to go out there.
Count that one, and the Minnesota lead has been cut down to just 4 points in the bucket from Simmons.
Boy, what skill from Simmons. I mean, so adept at reading the defense and exploiting them in the paint.
Towns a screen on Simmons. Here's Wiggins. Again, Wiggins missing.
Misfires again, and the ball just refuses to cooperate with him. It's a tough day so far.
Embiid with a screen on Teague. Volts kicks to Saric. To the paint. Here's Embiid. Shoots over Towns, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. That one is on Towns.
Love the way Embiid knows how to play with force down low, which in turn makes the defense get physical with him.
And the first one drops.
And really few teams in NBA history have undertaken the sort of extreme makeover the Sixers did over the last 4 years, and a lot of losing along the way, but the fans have been surprisingly supportive of the rebuilding process.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Robert Covington's checked in for Saric. Luwawu Cabarrot comes in for J.J. Redick. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Fultz. Just 5 on the clock. Jang dishes to T. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. And before the rebuild, the Sixers for a long time were stuck in mediocrity. Treading water, Greg, as they might say.
Yeah, and it's hard to make that leap without top draft picks. And the Sixers plumbed the depths, if you will. Now, though, I think they found their treasure trove.
Wiggins against Covington. The 9-foot shot. It's deflected. And here we go. Moving it up. Here's Simmons. And the rejection by Jang.
And this is something you'd like to see more of from Jang, given his size and wingspan.
Outside T. They set the screen. A three-pointer. Wiggins. Again, Wiggins missing.
That's unacceptable shot selection there, Kevin. I mean, why on earth did he think that was a good look?
Here's Luwawu. And the rejection by Jang. They get it back for the lead. The shot by McConnell, no good.
Not quite enough defense. That time around, just lucky he was off.
Back to Jones. Outside Teague. Pass to Jang. Kicks to Jones. Jang a screen. And the pass to Teague to stop the drought. Good on the three-point shot. Teague's got 6.
Well, they were looking to free up Teague with the pick, and he didn't take long to get them a score out of that play. Well done in the pick and roll.
Moment here now for an injury report. Let's find out the news on Jimmy Butler. Dave, what's the update?
Well, guys, I had a moment to catch up with Minnesota's head athletic trainer. After taking a look, he informed me that it doesn't look too bad.
All right, David, thanks for checking in and letting us know how he's doing.
And let's just hope that he doesn't have any setbacks during his recovery.
Yeah, I'm with you there, guys. One thing we know is that he's not going to let it get him down. I mean, it'll only motivate him to work harder to get back as soon as possible.
Off the screen. That shot off the mark. Now the 76ers take it the other way, and Gorgui Dieng is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Amir Johnson's checked in for Philadelphia. Korkmaz comes in for T.J. McConnell. And the Timberwolves also making a change. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Jeff Teague. Covington against Wiggins. Covington kicks to Simmons. Here's Korkmaz. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Korkmaz has got it all tied up now for Philadelphia. Minnesota's gone 2 of 5 with the three-point shot since coming out of the break. Crawford outside. Here's Aldridge. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Aldridge has got his second basket.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
Outside, Simmons. Covington kicks to Simmons. Over Jang. And he overshot that one, missing. Now the Timberwolves with it. They've led by as many as 14 points. Jones in the post, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And one of the toughest parts about playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves is the travel schedule. Clark, even interdivision games can involve lengthy flights, and the team travels more than any other in the NBA.
Yeah, and you know, everybody travels, and it is part of the league, but it is a small disadvantage for Minnesota to deal with. Not a big one, but nonetheless something unique to them as a team. Not much you can do about it, though. That's their lot, and they've got to make it work.
And that one falls for Jones. Nick Stauskas is checked in for Philadelphia. He's perfect from the line this time. The 76ers trail by 4. And Simmons kicks to Covington. Johnson, the pass to Stauskas. Johnson sets the screen for Covington. Passes it to Korkmaz. Another 3 for Philadelphia. Minnesota shooting 31% here in the third. Offensively, they are looking bleak. Wiggins against Covington. Back to Aldridge. 6 to shoot. He kicks to Jang. Pulls from the top of the key. Crawford's shot is good. Crawford's got 13.
Boy, that was a terribly difficult shot, but still, somehow, some way, it went down. Wow.
Feeds it to Stauskas. Pass to Korkmaz. Outside, Simmons. Trying to break that ice-cold streak, and the layup is good. Simmons got 7 points here in this quarter.
Boy, the quickness by Simmons, breathtaking. So good at blowing by whoever's trying to stay in front of him.
Wiggins kicks to Crawford. Jang with the screen for Crawford. A three-pointer, Wiggins, and again, Minnesota with the triple.
An excellent score off the dribble. Wiggins starting to excel in the catch-and-shoot game, too.
And Simmons kicks to Covington. Back to Simmons. 76ers moving the ball around. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. One thing that Tom Thibodeau can be depended on as a coach is giving his star players a lot of minutes. In fact, in Chicago, Clarkson criticized him for doing that. Others praised him for it. But the fact of the matter is, if you're a team leader, he expects you to be on the floor a lot and produce a lot.
Yeah, and you know, that's part of the job. Hey, when you get right down to it, if you're one of the best players, you've got to show up and do your job all the time. And you look at players who've played under Thibodeau. I mean, he's had the league leader in average minutes 3 times in his career as a coach. Said himself that he expects his guys to get used to what star players do, which includes a lot of minutes.
And some changes here for the 76ers. Richaun Holmes, he's checked in for Johnson. And it's Justin Anderson in for Robert Covington. Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Minnesota. Jimmy Butler comes in for Tyus Jones. And he's good on the second.
He's done a much better job of getting to the line here. Aggressively taking it inside and not shying away from contact. I thought he was settling a bit in the first.
Wiggins outside. And Zhang kicks to Crawford. Kicks it out to Wiggins. Again, Wiggins missing.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Anderson's shot is off. Minnesota leading by 3. Crawford kicks to Zhang. Now the feed to Towns. Holmes with the steal. Here's Stauskas, defended by Butler. Pass to Korkmaz. Holmes, that's a screen. Inside, and Holmes throws it down.
How about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for him.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Anderson dishes to Simmons. 76ers with a fresh shot clock. Holmes can't get it to go in. The Timberwolves shooting 38% from the field. A pretty weak showing for them. Crawford outside. Here's Towns. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Inside, here's Simmons, and the rejection by Towns. Crawford outside. On the wing, Wiggins. Bangs home the trifecta. Wiggins has got 13.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triples.
Outside, Simmons. 4 seconds left, and the shot goes down. Simmons got 10 points here in the second half.
And Simmons is accustomed to finishing over all types of defenders. I mean, that jump shot is just pure money.
And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. The Timberwolves on top. They're up by 2. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the fourth quarter. Next. And now we take a listen into the recent huddle from Tom Thibodeau.
Defensively, make sure we're all getting rebounded. No second shots. In transition, everyone talk. No open threes in transition.
And Tom Thibodeau wanting his team to pay particular attention to certain areas of their defense.
Yeah, taking care of the defensive boards, allowing no easy baskets on the fast break. These are key elements in terms of you having success.
Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. Anderson is out there with Ben Simmons. And there's Fultz. Then there's J.J. Redick. And it's Sharge in at the 5. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia.
You know, it's one thing to have a nice stroke, but it's another to understand how to get yourself free outside the arc for your shot. Has a soft, delicate stroke, does Fultz, and it rolls off his fingers nicely.
And Gibson kicks to Towns. Kicks it out to Crawford. 5 to shoot. Towns sets the pick for Crawford. But they'll get another chance. Towns, the pass to Wiggins. Here's the 3. Rebound by the 76ers. Simmons got 11 rebounds in the game. Fultz dishes to Anderson. Gibson with the steal. Butler with the ball. Now guarded by Redick. And stolen by Redick. The 10-footer. The rebound by Gibson. For Minnesota, they've gone 0 of 3 to start the 4th quarter. Offensive rebound. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket. And that's 10 points for Karl Anthony Towns.
Hey, scoring off misses, that's easy buckets. Something Towns has the length and tenacity to do on a regular basis.
Goes up to the stripe. Redick with the 3. Redick can't get that one to fall. For Minnesota, they've gone 1 of 5 from the field here in the 4th. A lot of misses, just the one make. Butler kicks to Towns. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. And it's a 3-point Minnesota lead.
And you see Towns doesn't dip much after the catch. I mean, he gets the ball right up to the set point and ready to deliver. Really sound fundamentals in that regard. He went a decent amount of time before his first turnover there. It's really been a good, safe stretch of basketball from him to this point.
Joel Embiid, he's checked in for Simmons. Minnesota also with the sub. Jeff Teague, he's checked in for Jamal Crawford. Back to Teague. Towns, the screen. Butler kicks to Towns. And a wide open look here for Wiggins. Cans it from downtown. Wiggins has got 9 points now in just the second half. Fultz with the ball. Embiid the screen. Redick for 3. Redick can't get that one to fall. Timberwolves leading by 6. Guys, they've been getting it done.
They came out with a mission, and they have been tough to stop.
And that one's good. Wiggins.
Solid interior defense, but Wiggins with the body control to adjust. Nicely done.
And here's Fultz. He dishes it to Sharge. Over Gibson. The shot by Sharge. No good. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Teague with the ball. Chalk up 2 there. And the Timberwolves lead by 10. And we may have an injury here that does not look good.
Well, I mean, you really feel for him. I mean, and the entire team. Just, you got to hope for the best.
Yeah, absolutely, Greg. I mean, of course, this is why you build out your depth as best you can. I mean, you just never know when injuries might show up.
The 76ers making a switch here. Luwawu's checked in. And the 76ers call time here. And with the 4th quarter push coming up here, the coach going over the game plan and these players rehydrating themselves with Gatorade, recharging their bodies, refocusing their minds, and getting that strategy down to close out the game.
And with the tide running against them, needs to talk it over with his guys.
You're exactly right. Halting the other team's run momentarily. Let's see what he comes up with now, Greg.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Brett Brown said to his team. With them getting outshot from the perimeter, he told them, we have got to defend the three-point line. Those threes are destroying us. We'll see if they can tighten it up, Kevin.
Shot clock at 6. Here's Fultz. Sweet little floater. Fultz has got 5 points now in the quarter.
Fultz so good, Kevin, at utilizing the screen and roll. I mean, he knows how to get a little separation, and when he does, he's a scoring threat.
A three-pointer, Wiggins. The 76ers trail by 8 from 11 feet away, and it comes off the front of the rim.
when he's got that kind of positioning, he's got to score it. Got to score the ball from there.
There's a screen. T kicks to Gibson. He feeds it to Butler, and stolen by Redick. The dish now to Fultz. Back to Redick. Anderson, a screen on Butler. Here's Redick. The shot that time, not on target. Towns with the defensive effort. Outside Teague. Dishes it to Butler. Looking for Gibson. He gets it there. Wiggins from outside. Kept alive. Towns. He gets it in there. And the Timberwolves lead by 10. 76ers have gone just 2 of 8 in this fourth quarter. The final quarter not treating them well so far. Here's Fultz. The pass to Llewellyn. Left side Anderson. The shot is good off the backboard.
Boy, I like how quickly he threw the bounce pass there. Hard to defend against that.
Towns, the screen. Wiggins outside. From the baseline. And that one is off. And it's Philadelphia the other way. Luwawu, the pass to Fultz. Anderson, a screen on Teague. Fultz kicks to Anderson. 6 to shoot. It's Redick on the wing. Redick can't get that one to fall.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
T kicks to Gibson. Passes it to Butler. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Drills it from outside. 21 points for Andrew Wiggins.
Well, I'll tell you what, how easy does Wiggins make the game look? I mean, in the flow, excellent stroke from distance. That's fun to watch.
Butler against Redick. Now here's Fultz. It's deflected. Towns with the steal. Outside Teague. To the paint. Trying to find Towns. Gets it to him. And Embiid with the block.
Solid read from Embiid there. Terrific at anticipating when that shot is coming.
Redick against Butler. Redick passes to Llewellyn. Another miss by Philadelphia. And here are the Timberwolves. They're on a 16-4 run. Wiggins dishes to Butler. Towns the screen. Kicks it to Butler. To the wing right side. Teague for 3. And Embiid pulls it down. Embiid's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
Fultz kicks to Redick. Over to the wing. Launches it. Fultz, no good.
And not a night he's going to want to remember. Just not really able to score the basketball.
Now T. He kicks to Gibson. Feeds to Butler. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. Butler's got 23 points.
And Butler does a nice job using his body. I mean, especially when he's close to the basket, comfortable operating inside.
Moment here now for an injury report. An update now on Dario Saric from David Aldridge. What'd you find out, Dave?
Kevin caught up with the head athletic trainer for the 76ers. Right now he's saying it might be a severely sprained ankle, which is something every player hates to hear. That's the type of injury that won't only keep him out the rest of this game, but what could be a lot more games to come. Not good news at all for this team, Kevin.
David, thanks for the great update, guys. It doesn't sound good.
No, if that report is accurate, he's going to be spending a lot of time in rehab and on the sidelines.
And in the training room, guys. I mean, that is not going to be an easy injury to bounce back from.
And Philadelphia calls time here. Rumors about Butler being traded from Chicago were circulating last season. Draft day comes around, and the Minnesota Timberwolves made their move, Greg, to acquire him.
Yeah, and the more you look at it, the trade looks great for Butler and the Wolves. Reunites him with Coach Thibodeau, joins an incredibly young core in Towns and Wiggins, and the sky's the limit, I think, for this young Wolves team.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Karl Anthony Towns.
And the D tried to get physical with him down low tonight, and it really backfired. Instead, he's just torn them up. He was aggressive, inviting the contact, and really just taking it straight to him.
He's really seemed to feed off the hostile environment he's been faced with tonight. Some changes for Philadelphia. Ben Simmons comes in for Anderson, and Robert Covington subbed in for Luwawu Cabarro. Fultz kicks to Embiid. Redick is in the corner. Sinks the triple.
Like seeing Redick work the screen there. Very effective at finding the room he needs to get his shot up.
On the wing, Wiggins. Back to Gibson. And Embiid with the block. Fast break, Philadelphia. Here's Fultz. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Timberwolves leading by 10. Down low. And Wiggins throws it down hard.
Making the impossible look easy. Wiggins with the great creativity in the air. He typically hangs in the air a little longer than the average bird, though.
And that last replay courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. And Wiggins throws it down.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Count it. And that's now 7 points for Joel Embiid.
And when he squares up, his height makes him a tough assignment.
Yeah, and he knows how to utilize that size. He takes advantage of it. And that's why he's able to take his time on these shots, because he knows he has that extra height advantage.
Now the 76ers on the break. High arcing shot. Foul on the play. Basket counts, so it'll be a three-point play chance.
Simmons doing a nice job there mucking up passing lanes and making life difficult for the opposition. And that's a mindset, but also activity and energy display.
That free throw good from Fultz.
Well, I look at Fultz, and he has perennial all-star written all over him. A fantastic playmaker who's really got a ready-made skill set for the NBA.
Teague with the ball. Pass to Towns. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That one on Embiid.
You know, despite his youth, Kevin, Towns sees the big picture. I mean, gets points any way you can, and we'll see if he can cash in at the line here.
And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Timberwolves.
Well, it's been an outstanding game for them in the open court. Their fast break points really stand out.
And also, their second chance points have been a story all night as well. That's just pure effort and hustle.
First free throw is good, and that'll push the lead to double digits. And so he hits both. The 76ers running out of time. Covington lays it up off the glass.
And it's always terrific when Covington gets going down in the paint. I mean, this guy can score the ball from anywhere on the floor.
Butler passes to Teague. The feed now to Gibson. Back to Teague. Towns the screen. Pass to Gibson. And Joel Embiid pulls it down. And Simmons kicks to Redick. He dishes it to Embiid. Misses the layup. He had him with that pump fake.
Well, he mistimed it just a skosh. Don't think the defense really had an impact. I think he just flat out missed it.
Out of bounds, Timberwolves ball as Minnesota keeps possession. Timberwolves ball. And so it's Minnesota with it. 5 on the clock. Jones for 3. That shot off. And here's McConnell. And so Minnesota takes the win. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, gee, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Jimmy, you have become a star in this league, big part of the team. Have those expectations put more pressure on you individually?
No pressure. I think I'm gonna do what I do each and every night.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.